like Kay, would you say that's the same for yourself as well with Purposeful Group? You know, what was your journey like? Did you have to find a niche to create what you created?
Yeah, I ended up getting into tech, and it was just a friend who recommended me and told me about a job going back to my old company where I'd sort of started, but instead of being in the sales department, I went into IT, and I used the knowledge that I had as a salesperson to help them to build a massive multi-million-pound product for the sales team. And of course, having that knowledge of how the sales team work and think, I was able to bring that, and then I developed my tech skills on the job. So I did that for a while, and then I decided to go freelancing. And that's, to me, it's sort of part of my advancement. Okay, do I know enough now to be paid sort of the big bucks by companies as a consultant who comes in? So I kind of worked myself up to that, which was a scary thing to sort of move into freelancing where you're getting paid a day rate, and, you know, that becomes your life. It's not a permanent, you know, job anymore, and you're moving from company to company. And whilst I was there, I started my own business. Then I started a second business as a coach. So I had 2 side hustles and a demanding consulting job. And then I realised that there were lots of entrepreneurs who were building apps and things like that and having a lot of trouble. They were getting ripped off by their developers, or just making a lot of mistakes. It's not always that the developer has done something wrong. It's just they had no idea how to manage the process. And I thought, well, I can do something about that. So I wrote my first book, which was Don't Hire a Software Developer Until You Read This Book. And it went on to become a #1 in various book categories in about 7 countries. People then started to email me from different parts of the world. I had got emails from the States, from Bolivia, you know, like it was very, you know, saying, oh, I've read your book, you know, can you be my mentor? So that was kind of how Purposeful Group got started, really. So I started mentoring these people from around the world who'd read my book, even from Australia, and it just kind of built up from there. So now we have, I think, more than 25 different workshops, running programs, got a community. Having the side hustles was really, really amazing for me to learn, and almost like Vanessa as well, and even Florence. You know, you start pulling together all the skills that you've gained, and they all are totally useful to you as an entrepreneur. The different things that you can pull on, and, you know, you've got experience of that just make your entrepreneurial life easier.
Definitely. I mean, Kay, please put the link of the book in the chat. Like, I definitely need to read that, even though I'm not techie. I would love to read it anyway, because the book is telling me to read it.
There are some great apps so that as soon as you spend something or make money, you immediately track it in your app, so that by the end of the tax year, you don't have to go, oh my God, I have to calculate everything. You just, you know, you've been keeping up to date. So there's kind of a bit of a discipline there to do that. The other thing you can do is get an app that takes photos of your receipts, and then it can kind of consolidate those automatically into a spreadsheet for you, so that you're not typing them out. Or you can just go very old school and just get a spreadsheet, maybe that's in the cloud like Google Sheets or something, or Microsoft 365, and just type into the spreadsheet so it's there. But come next year, we all have to start thinking about making tax digital anyway. So that will mean that we all have to go onto real-time online accounts. Making that decision, which is another decision whether or not to be limited or not. I know some people get a business idea and they're like, oh, I'm going to form a company. So again, you can take that decision in your own time, at a time when it's good for you. You don't have to become limited immediately. You can be a sole trader, see how you like it, test out the waters. One thing I was going to say is that the side hustle is a great training ground. So 1, it will allow you to build up a bit of money whilst you're working. 2, you start learning about things like the invoicing and all that, and it takes a bit of the pressure off because you've still got your day job. So for Tiggy and anyone else there who's thinking about getting started, I would, if you're still in a full-time job, start trying to build up your side hustle. I strongly recommend that. The other thing that I would suggest is just really, even if you have to offer your services for free. Now, that might be a little bit contentious, and I have met entrepreneurs who sort of like, oh, wow, you know, I can't possibly offer my services for nothing. And they haven't got any clients yet. So, you know, like, swallow your pride to start with. I said to myself, right, for this year, you know, when I first started this business, I will allow myself to be not quite used and abused, but I had a phrase for it. I won't tell you what it was, but yeah, I had a phrase to basically say, like, you know what, I will do things for free. I will be everywhere. I will not say no to anybody. And that's to my advantage because, it will allow me to have portfolio. So that year I got so many photos, evidence, proof of that I could do what I said that I could do, that it's now a very, you know, compelling argument. People, you know, you couldn't come to my website or look at my LinkedIn profile and not see that I really can do what I say I can. And so that time that I spent doing things for free was absolutely invaluable to me. So don't ever think, oh, well, you know, if they're not paying me, I'm not going to do it, because you've got to think about what other benefits. For example, are they high profile clients? You know, is there going to be some kind of evidence like photographic video? Can I use their logo on my website? That's a massive thing, because even if they haven't paid you, you've done work for them. So you could start building, you know, you could have never even made a penny from your business and have a portfolio of nice logos on your website that show all the people that you've worked for. So think very smart about how you do that and what benefit you can get from it.
Kay, would you like to kind of start wrapping up for us in terms of any last bits of advice or nuggets of wisdom that you could share?
So I think I would just say start. Number one, just start. Just take some baby steps. So actually, if I've got one exercise I would give everyone here now, it is just write down 3 things that you could do just to move yourself forward a bit further than wherever you are now. So write those 3 things down, and after this session, please reflect on those and think about which steps you are the right ones to take out of the ideas you came up with and start, because nothing's going to happen unless you take some action. So that's the most important thing. And yeah, be prepared to do a bit of hustle at the beginning, and, you know, build up that experience so that you've got evidence of what you can do. And yeah, it's not a perfect straight line, as I think it's become clear that everyone has said here. So don't expect some sort of beautiful, perfect path. Every experience, every trial, you can use that to your advantage. So just accept it as part of the journey, turn it into a learning experience and something of value that you can use to keep pushing forward. And good luck.
Amazing. And there was a question for you, Kay, in the chat. It was from Kat, who was asking, would you recommend the apps that you were talking about earlier you used and tested? Would you recommend them?
Yeah. I'm wondering if I can maybe provide a list that maybe GA or someone could send out. I was using one called Finance PM, which was just like an app. It's an Android app. Doesn't look particularly pretty, but was, you know, it did the job. You could enter your expenditures and also what you'd made, and you could also then export that to Excel really easily from the app. So that was a really good tool. But there are a ton of tools for taking, you know, photographing receipts. So I think whether you're Android or you know, App Store, have a look at those and just go for sort of the highest rated, you know, ones based on which of the, you know, what type of phone you've got, really. But yeah, there's some really good apps out there. Another one's Toshal, TOSHL. It has a paid for element, but you can also get quite a lot of functionality on the free app as well. So that's sort of like a finance management, and you can create, you know, like your personal finance section and your business finance section and track all of that.
Amazing. And there you go. You got Kay giving us all the techie goods